Right, muckers. Well, coming up in this episode,
that's part of the problem.
And, you know, they sort of say, oh, they'll start up for a 3-litre diesel. No, they won't.
All right, so here we got it. That's the Cummins 5.9.
But first, let's go and have a look at the 7810. Right, if you have watched the previous video, and I'll put a link to that in the description below, you'll know that we have discovered we've got an issue with the hydraulic system on the 7.8. In so much that was told before we bought it, and then we've been doing some tests with it really just to see, but we don't think we're getting any flow from the back end to the front oil cooler. That's where the oil cooler is. Anyway, look, here's the first thing that we're going to do.
Now you've got the steel pipes going along the side here up to the front, but here are two rubber pipes. So what my intention is to undo these, get the rubber pipes off and replace them with clear plastic pipes, just for the moment, just till I'm running this test. And then I should be able to see if I've actually got any flow going to and from the cooler. So that'll be the first thing, to actually just check if we've got some flow going that way. So what I'm going to do is undo this bracket here just to give them a bit of flex, and then take these rubber pipes off and then cut some clear plastic pipe. I don't know if you can see, but so there's obviously a round pipe. They're nearly nipped flat here by that clamp, both of them. I wonder if they've been over tightened and nipped right up, and that's what's restricting that flow. I might be able to, if I can release this, I might be able to just squeeze them that way with some grips, put some pressure on and get them back again, but that's certainly not good. That's certainly restricted that flow. There's no way that that hasn't. Alright, so I've got the pipe, the rubber hose off the pipe. So, can you see now? That's nipped up there, look. So, either or, that's part of the problem. But I need to try and just open up a little bit. I might be able to do it with some gentle pressure with some vice grips and L grips. And then from there we can put the other bits on there. But yeah, I think before I do that, I'm going to put the bits of clear pipe on, just because I don't want to think there isn't a problem there and I've solved it by altering that. So that's another thing to do things methodically. So, all right, there's a problem there. So let's try it as it was without altering anything to see if there is flow or not. Because at least then if there isn't flow, we can have a go at opening these up, and we can then, if that does rectify it, we know we've done something. So yeah, all right, we'll do that first then. All right, I've just got a little heater on. I've just warmed these up, because otherwise, you can see on the end it, that is absolutely solid, whereas you warm them up, all right, it's the same stuff. So just get a bit warm, I can get them on there, put the Jubilee clips on. Alright, so you can see that, look, I've replaced those rubber ones with these clear plastic ones. Look, they're not pressure rated, so I'm not going to obviously leave them on there permanently. I just want to see if we have got flow of oil to and fro on here. So we're going to give that a go first. If we have, or it's restricted, then we'll look at doing those. Well, we're going to do this anyway. See if I can get away with, you know, putting some pressure on, just clamp them, open them up again. But first off, I just want to see if there is any flow and see if this is the cause or not.
So we've done that experiment. We do know there is flow. Okay, that's a positive. What I'm going to do, as I said, is I'm going to change them for new rubber hoses, put it all back together, try and uncrush those steel pipes, put the clamp on gently, put some rubber around it, because it just seems that they've just wound it up and probably crushed that. And then I will change the hydraulic oil filter in case there's a blocked filter or something that's restricting flow again. Then I'm just going to put it to work. We've got some stuff we want to do with this and film with this, so I am going to just put it to work. I'll put it on something where we need the spools, and I'm going to see if it gets hot. That's what I'm going to do. Then if I see it with my own eyes, because there's been occasions I know people have left spools in, they haven't come back to the indent, and they've had it pumping all day. It gets hot. Maybe that's what's happened. I don't know. So I've got to see it for myself. But anyway, that for the time it took, which is next to nothing, that's quite encouraging. At least we can see there is some flow, you know, from the cooler. So good. So I'm out and about just getting parts for the 7.810 at the moment, and I've gone and got some rubber hose, and I had to go to a meeting this morning. So on the way back from that, I diverted a bit, went to Norwich and got some rubber hose from Pearson Hydraulics, who were extremely helpful. And yeah, so I got some new hose, because I'm not going to leave that clear plastic tubing on there. That was just for the test to see if we got a flow. But what I did think about overnight is, you know, I've got another, I don't know, 2-3 feet of that clear plastic hose. I'm not going to use it for anything else. It's not like I've got a fucking fish tank. And what I was going to do is take off the flow from the back end to the oil cooler, take that short section off, put the long section I've got left on, but not connect it back up, just let it flow straight out, and then start the tractor up, start the 7.8 up, and then basically just if we've got a flow coming out, I'm going to run it for a few seconds and I'm going to waste a lot, but at least we'll see how much is coming out of at the end of it, run it straight into that waste oil pot. So yeah, that's what we're going to do now, but we'll see how it goes. So what I'll just do now is just see if I can get a bit of pressure on this pipe evenly, and see if we can maybe, yeah, starting to actually. It's opening it up a little bit. I'll be careful with it, because I don't want to go the other way and crimp it up. Well, as I say, it's certainly better than it was, without a doubt. Well, it's obviously flowing a bit better than it was before. But the main thing is that we thought there was no oil. That was the whole thing. You know, it can't be being cooled because the back end is hot, the pipes are stone cold, something's not right. As I said, we've proven there's flow to the front. If it, and I'm assuming that's adequate. That's an adequate flow. At the end of the day, you wouldn't expect it to be racing through, because it would just heat itself up again. So I think, yeah, it's a good flow. It's obviously going through the cooler and back. we just have to put it to work and see what she does. And if it, for any reason, it doesn't, you know, it does get hot and doesn't cool at the front, we'll have to look into it a little bit further. But we'll get that hydraulic oil filter changed as well while we're here. And change the oil in the back end. Jobs are good, and well, you'd like to think so. Right, well, here's the two new bits of rubber hose. Got new clips as well. Put them on that way so they don't clash. So one up, one down. So that's that. Now we've got the engine oil to do. So what, I changed the engine oil filter, and also the hydraulic oil filter as well. Now, while I go and get the oils and whatever, here's a little snippet for you to watch. And people are always asking me what my favourite tools are. If there's any tools that I'd recommend to have in the workshop. And there's countless tools that we use, obviously day in day, but specific things I tend to sort of shy away from and say anything about, because unless we've used them ourselves and we're happy with them, then I'm not going to start saying, oh, I think these look really good or whatever, and giving recommendations on something I've had no experience of. This next little thing you're going to see got me out of a muddle, to the point where I was so impressed with it, I went and got one. And, well, here it is. Right, story time. Now, jump back to late last year. I got a phone call to say the 7810 is on its way, going to be delivered soon. So I shot up the yard, and the truck was already about to pull in. Lovely. I said, right, all I'm going to do, I said, I'm just going to pull a tractor out, you unload it, and we'll get it. It's not a problem. And the 590 stood here, right where it is now, apart from being the other way round. But you don't need to worry about that. Anyway, 590 has always fired up like that, ever since we had it, come rain or shine. So I jumps in, turns the key, and it goes click, 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 click. Oh, for fuck, not now. The battery's dead. So I thought, well, I ain't got any jumper cables, because I didn't expect it not to go. And they're at the other yard, and I'm thinking, right, well, I could put another battery on, but we only had the big Ford batteries, and they're too long to do it. So I went outside, spoke to the driver, said, Richard, have you got any jumper cables? He said, no, I ain't. I said, oh, for fuck, he said, don't worry. Don't worry, he said, don't panic. Look at this. And he opened up the locker door on the side of his cab, on his truck, and he said, I've got one of these, a booster pack, Durite booster pack. And I'm like, oh, no. Because listen, believe you me, I've had all the booster packs over the years. I've had those huge ones that weigh about 3/4 of a ton, and by the time you've just unplugged them, they're fully charged, you run across the yard, they're dead. And, they sort of say, oh, they'll start up for a 3-litre diesel. No, they won't. They wouldn't even turn over a Briggs and Stratton with the plug out, right? So I said, I don't... He said, no, honestly. He said, that's why I carry it. I said, look at the size of it. There's nothing to it, He said, honestly, I'll start this truck. He's got a big Scania. He said, I'll start that. So I said, oh, okay, I'll give it a go. And I just went in here just to try and, I thought, at least he's trying. I can only humour him and, so I've had a go. So, yeah, basically clipped her on, pressed the button, jumped in, boom, straight away. Honestly, I was absolutely gobsmacked. So, and that was it. I mean, look at the size of it. As I said, you can just bung it in your truck because it's not big, it's not heavy, it's easy to charge. You've got USB outlets, you've got a flashlight on there as well. There we are. I mean, I as I said, I am not a fan of booster packs. So I certainly wouldn't be saying, get a booster pack. But the point is, I was so impressed with that one I borrowed, we went and got one. And here it is. Does 12 and 24 volts. Like I say, that's just an amazing bit of kit. Now, the thing is, this is about a 4-litre engine. We haven't got a battery on there at the time. You can do it straight on, but that's a 4-litre. We know that does that. I'll show you on a 5.9 Cummins, because the Dodge, I know that's right down flat. The battery's on that. So let's go and hook it on the Dodge and see if we can start a nearly 6-litre diesel engine. Right, so here we got it. That's the Cummins 5.9, which is a world-renowned engine.
and they're a good lump, but you do need good batteries to get them to turn over and start. But unfortunately, I don't think that's going to happen with this one. Jump start ready. Right, so you can just see it's on, it says jump start ready, it's 12 volt. Alright, now just to prove that without the pack, because the pack is there, I'm taking it off, we'll try it again without the pack. Nope, can't even get the starter to click now. We've got a few lights on inside, that's it. So there you go. So there we are. That's what I'm saying. There's proof is in the pudding, as we always say. And that's it. That's the little pack. And as I said, it'll start 4 litre, it'll start 6 litre, or 5.9. Richard's Scania, I think, is like 14 litre. No, it is. 12 or 24 volt. What I'll do, to save you having to sort of scroll through everywhere and whatever, I'll put a link to the Durite site and directly to this booster pack. I'll put a link to that, so all you've got to do is click on it below the description box of this video. So if you look into where it says description below this video, I'll put the link there and you can just go straight to it. But as I said, look at the size of it. Absolutely fantastic. And as I said, if we weren't that impressed by getting me out of a muddle at night, I wouldn't have gone and got one. But no, I wouldn't be without it. It's, like I said, just so small and compact, stick it in the truck or wherever. And yeah, there you go. So I think it's just technology, isn't it? Things have progressed and things have moved on. So there we are. Right, now what I'm going to do is get this fired up, take it for a run, get up to temperature, then come back, the oil's thin, drop the oil out, do the filter, do that filter, and yeah. But I think what I'm going to do, when I take her out, I'm going to swap the exhaust. What about that then? Right, so I'll get it fired up. I know, alright, I know it's a bit cruel. Look, this is what we're going to do. We'll get this outside, take up the road with the straight pipe on. Obviously I'll film it from all the angles and whatever. But try and get a trailer or something behind it. So when we go up the road, she's got something to pull, you know, and make her work a bit, make it bark out. So we'll do that, then we'll bring it back in when it's all warmed up, do the oils and the filters and whatever. Now, if you want to see that video and you don't want to miss that, make sure that you're subscribed to the channel. And somebody sent me a message the other day regarding the whole, you know, notifications thing. He said that's quite misleading on the notifications. He said, here's what you need to do, almost like a computer reset, turn it off and turn it on again. He said, go to the notifications. He said, you'll see, I think that's all personalised and custom or something like that. He said, click down and click on personalised, click on custom. He said, do you think it appears because the bell is dark, the all one, you think that's what you've got clicked? He said, that's not always the case. So click down them and then end up clicking all. So that's the final one, he said, and that will send all notifications. And you should then get told when I put up the next video. And you'll also then obviously get told when I put up the video with a straight pipe on the 7, 8, 10. Now, in order to be with a chance of winning this little goodie bag thing here, which is the Ritchie Brothers hat, the JCB 8-tonner model, and the JCB steel flask, what you got to do, remember, is if you go back to my previous video, it's a cat dump truck video. here we go.
And I'll put a link at the end of this video. Also, I'll put it in the description box below this video. If you go on there and watch that, it'll tell you how you can enter the competition. It's all free, and you could be in with a chance of winning this little bundle. Well, I suppose we'd better have a question time for this week, haven't we, muckers? Okay, let's do a really simple one. In your opinion, what is the best looking car ever produced? Simple as that. What's the best looking car ever produced? Put your answers in the old squid pit below in the comments section. We'll have a look at them. And yeah, I'll put you something together, a little goodie bag or something. But like I said, don't forget last week's video as well is a chance to win all the other stuff as well. So go on and have a look at that. And you'll find out how to do that on there. And yeah, all that good stuff. Yeah, I know. I'll tell them all. Right, muckers, so don't forget the link to last week's video where you can enter the competition. That's in the description box below this video and at the end. Also the link which takes you directly to all the information you want to know about that Durite 12 and 24 booster pack. That'll be in the description box below this video. Yeah, I know, I'm telling them. Oh, no, yeah, right. And the notifications, don't forget that. As I said, you know, all the emails to and from the powers that be, and you just all the same old rhetoric. And then a follower reaches out to me and says, try that, mucker. Just try flipping through them all and ending up literally, you know, on all notifications. So do that. You'll turn it off, turn it on again. So there we are. But as I said, I don't want you to miss the videos, and I certainly don't want you to miss me hooning this up the road, the old straight pipe on. But that's it, isn't it? So, what? Well, thank you very much. That looks like that's that time again. Yes? Is it? Yeah. Oh, thank you. There we are, muckers. So, until the next one, do well.